This is Deborah Atkinson, and you're listening to Flipping 50, where I address your top concerns and your biggest struggles so that you can learn what to eat, how to move, and change your thoughts so you can flip 50 with the life and the energy and vitality you want in this second and better half. And today, I'm doing a really special episode because at this time of year, it's like New Year's and resolutions because we all get started back into an exercise program. Kids are getting back into school, and whether you are attached in any way to school, we tend to find our way back off the golf courses, out of the gardens, and whatever fun you may have been having all summer long, back into routine. So the question of what do I focus on when you're starting exercise is such a common one. And then you tack on to that when I'm after 50, and maybe you tack on to that what happens with my hormones. That's what today's episode is all about. And just a spoiler alert, right now, if you're listening to this episode as I record it, it's sponsored by my own course, the After 50 Fitness Formula for Women. And that course is on sale for our 4th anniversary. And I can hardly believe I'm saying that. It's flown, but it is still one of our biggest, most robust, and extensive courses. And if you like to be able to go back to look at things over and over and to redo them, do one pass, and then maybe in 6 months do it again, you have access for a year. So enough about that, but it is on sale. And you can use Labor Day 25 as the code to save $25. When you're just starting exercise after 50 or you're recommitting after a summer, there are a lot of sexy programs, beautiful celebrity trainers, and conflicting information. When you're not sure where to start, what to do, or who to trust, it can be overwhelming or lead to frustration due to injury or lack of results. That's why I created this podcast, and I'm encouraging you to use the After 50 Fitness Formula Checklist. It's a hormone balancing exercise checklist, really in peri-menopause, menopause, or long after menopause. And you can find that right on the homepage at flipping50.com. And remember, that's all spelled out in words, no spaces, no numbers. I'm breaking down the 7 key areas to focus on when you're just starting exercise, and these are absolutely critical for creating a successful exercise plan after 50. Are you a veteran exerciser? Don't click away yet, because this episode is for you too. If hormone balancing has changed the game for you, or more illness or injury than you'd like is a challenge, I still use the same areas today after 34 years. Whether I am trying to fit fitness into a busy schedule or a busy business quarter, I'm detoxing with no more than 20 minutes of exercise a day, or I'm training for an endurance event, I still use all of these. I use these areas as a checkup list for my exercise planning regularly. Here's a quick look at what I'm covering in this episode. First, I'm going to give you a quick intro of why hormone balancing exercise after 50 is different than what you were taught and learned decades ago. Make no mistake, if you're 60 or you're 70 and you're thinking, that ship has sailed, hormones are not affecting me. We all have hormones until death do us part. If women in their 70s and 80s can get breast cancer or other cancers or osteoporosis and experience stress, then you want to include them in your fitness plan. Hormone assessment will become a staple in fitness consults. I'm going to see to it. And if you, by the way, are a fitness pro and you want information on becoming a Flipping 50 specialist, connect here. And I'll put that link in the show notes. So let's dive in. Number 1 is exercise, of course. Hormone balancing exercise leads to weight loss, energy, muscle tone, better sleep, fewer hot flashes and night sweats, better skin. Those are just a few, but it's not the 3 to 5 times a week cardio, 2 to 3 times a week strength training, and the things that you and I turned into 6 or 7 days of cardio, most days a week doing some strength training if we did it, or no strength training because of that nasty bulk we thought it would cause. And then there's flexibility most days of the week. That's the traditional exercise prescription. No, it's about taking your personal signs and symptoms and using them to create your best plan. Because if you're tired, really tired all the time, you're really not fit. The two don't operate in isolation. They do go together. A truly fit individual is rested. She looks younger, has better skin, sleeps well. She's rarely sick or injured. When stressors happen in her life, she's more resilient. She's neither obsessive or nonchalant about her exercise. It's definitely a part of her life. She's going to fit in because she's more 100% her best self when she does it, but she doesn't go crazy about it. Hormone balancing is often about 1 or 2 cardio sessions a week, 2 strength training sessions a week. Often it's about restorative yoga several times a week and a lot of changes to caffeine, water, screen access, toxins, and stressors first. Grabbing at what didn't work for you years ago, or really, be honest, calorie counting didn't work for you if you're here looking to lose weight again, right? It won't work now times 10. So instead of spinning your wheels or getting overtired instead of better, grab that checklist from the homepage or retake it if you've done it before and listen along. Number 2, the second area to focus on is nutrition. Turn old concepts of healthy eating habits upside down. What you think is healthy is not necessarily so. Your gut changes thanks to hormones, to stress, which affects hormones, exercise changes, food you've eaten often, like daily, to illness, to medication, to environmental toxins. You've got to test, and that isn't always or only a lab test. How you feel never lies. Your body will tell you by bloating, gas, constipation, or diarrhea that it isn't happy. And if you do have a lab test, use it to confirm or pick up clues about your how you feel status. Don't dismiss how you feel. When you're just starting exercise, nutrition can be a really important part. If your bathroom habits are unpredictable or you've got embarrassing gas, it not only doesn't inspire you to be more active, it may be a sign you're not absorbing all the nutrients you need to have energy to exercise in the first place. If you don't know for sure about your nutrition, if you're operating under 1980 or 90 guidelines, or you're just following an article, it's probably time to look closer at step-by-step way to determine your personal best plan. The third area to focus on is sleep. Every decision you make during your waking hours determines how well you will sleep tonight. And I know from talking with so many of you that you think of it as the other way around. If you're sleepless in hormone hell, right, you're thinking that affects your exercise, and that's true too. But from the moment you wake up, you can positively change your bedtime tonight with your actions or inactions. Every decision about how and when you exercise, how, when, what you eat, what you think, who or what you share a bed with will positively or negatively impact your optimal body and brain by changing your sleep. If you value your best body, your best energy, and your best productivity, you're skipping on sleep or pretending it isn't up to you to improve it, you're really missing a dreamy way, pun intended, to change your life for the better. 2 tricks. Get up at the same time every day, unless you have adrenal fatigue, and I'll link to some resources for that. If you do, the only way you reset your clock is to sleep better is by taking care or in control of your wake-up time. Get exposure to sunlight as early as possible in the day. That's the second trick. But even if that doesn't happen early, let's say you get up in the dark, do turn on all the lights. Make sure exposure to natural sunlight happens for you during the day. When you're just starting exercise, sleep can kill your discipline. I've been exercising regularly for decades, and even though I'm committed, if I have a sleepless night, it's a challenge to want to exercise. Hormones that help you get results are not even present if you don't sleep well. So you want to master sleep. The fourth exercise place, or the fourth place to focus when starting your exercise, is rest and recovery. And we skip this. Man, we so skip this. Most of us have to feel like we're doing something, and it's pretty tied to our sense of self. So I realize while I say this that you won't make fast changes. It's super important to start moving in the right direction, no matter how much of a crawl that is for you. So rest with no to-do list, not an errand, a load of laundry, a list to make, not a cell phone you're compelled to check. Are you sweating yet? Right? A lot of us are very attached to doing something. When just starting exercise after 50, you're at an advantage. You haven't put bad habits in your routine, so plan the rest as carefully as you possibly can. If you've got an attachment to exercise that is so strong you can't take a day off, it's probably the one thing that will get you better results. Rest and recovery from exercise comes in rest between sets, between workouts, even between exercise and other stressors besides your workout on the same day, and nutrition that boosts your recovery. You also have to realize that some exercise requires recovery and some exercise is recovery. Do something I call the no benefits zone, and it will completely sabotage a woman in need of hormone balance and can cause hormone imbalance, actually cause it. That no benefits zone is right smack in the middle. It's really what we learned when we were in our 20s. It's not low enough to be recovery, and it's not high enough to give you results. So check yourself. Number 5 is stress. If your job, your kids, your home, your commute, your parents, your worry about any of those things is drawing on your reserves at a time when exposure to toxins and technology is at an all-time high, then stress is going to interfere with fitness pursuits, helping your hormone balance. So many women will tell me that exercise is the way they negate their stress. However, if you have all the rest on your plate, and I don't mean rest and recovery, but all the rest of those stressors on your plate, and you're not adjusting your exercise to account for it, you'll overload yourself easily. This is probably the biggest obstacle when just starting exercise, or maybe it's the reason you need to restart. Stressful times can flip your intentions. Creating a stress toolbox that includes exercise, but also other things is really important. Maybe for you, it's scrapbooking, painting. Maybe it's listening to music or dancing. Maybe it's cooking, if you love that, which can help your nutrition. But find a way to fill your toolbox with things additional to exercise. Number 6, as we start here getting toward the end, is hormones. Hormones leave clues. You're not sure which hormones maybe, but you are sure something has shifted. Nothing works like it used to. The exercise, nutrition, and habits you used to have don't help you feel better or full of energy anymore. You might be still having a period sometimes, or not having one at all anymore. Maybe your phantom periods when you're feeling like you should or could, but you don't. Your skin might be changing. If you've changed weight, or if you've gained weight, the places you've gained it have changed. If you can't seem to put on muscle or see any tone, even though you're doing the right thing, that could be related to hormones as much as to your exercise or nutrition. In the After 50 Fitness Formula for course, and remember, it's on sale, you can identify your hormones with your signs and your symptoms in order to get a set of here's your best fitness steps to take if that's your challenge. That's how you know. It's not simply go get a lab test and get the results, so then you'll know. You still have to interpret it. So signs and symptoms can get you a long ways for really helping to change your exercise for the better. Number 7, this is the drum roll, please. Peace. It's a whole you integration. So when I use the word holistic in You Still Got It, Girl, the book, I wrote it with a W-H-O-L-E, because this is really about the whole of you, not the H-O-L-E of you. You can't look at any one of these things in isolation any more than you can look at mind, body, or soul in isolation. So really pulling them together because one of them affects the others. You're either exercising for better sleep, or your exercise could disrupt your sleep. You're either sleeping in a way that supports your exercise and your results, or you might sabotage them. It's true of relationships with food and exercise, food and sleep, or stress as well. Everything you do or don't do influences something else. So that mysterious hormone balance is about identifying what your clues are telling you and pulling them together. So there you have it. Those are the foundation on which I've built my own fitness for flipping 50, and you can too. So I'd really love it if this has been beneficial that you subscribe, even leave a rating in iTunes. It really helps other people find us and get the word out that we can change the way we age if we change the way we exercise and all the things we do to support that as we flip 50. And I'll leave some links in the show about how to leave a rating in iTunes or subscribe so you can download it right to your phone. Take me with you on your walk. And if I stirred something up and you have a question, leave it below the show notes at flipping50.com as I'm posting this special episode on Labor Day weekend. And what are you waiting for? Let's start flipping 50 together.